Well, it's now time for the other views. We're talking about outrage in Egypt. Now, this is after news broke that Netflix's upcoming docudrama Queen Cleopatra, executive produced and narrated by Jada Pinkett Smith, depicts the queen as a black woman and not of European descent, nor of Greek descent, as many historians and archaeologists suggest. Now, this has angered Egyptians so much that one lawyer is now suing the streaming platform. Joining us to discuss, our panel spokeswoman for Make America Great Again Incorporated and former assistant press secretary under the Trump administration, Caroline Levitt, and host of Money Talk with Melanie, Collette. Great to have you both with us here. Caroline, I'm going to start with you here. Is this much ado about nothing, or do you think that, I will say, the Egyptians have a valid point?
Well, good for the Egyptians for taking it to Netflix and filing suit against the corporate media and Hollywood that continues to be intellectually dishonest to push their political agenda, a political agenda that wants to divide everyone based on race, a political agenda that wants to ensure that some races are deemed oppressed or oppressors based on the color of our skin. And I wish Americans here in our country would take strong action and follow the Egyptians and pushing back against the woke left, Hollywood, and the mainstream corporate media for their intellectual dishonesty and their falsehoods that they're always pursuing.
Yeah, intellectual dishonesty is a great phrase. And Melanie, is this just another example of rewriting history as we see statues being taken down, as we see books getting certain passages taken out of them? I mean, we're talking about facts, things that have been written or that have occurred long ago, but now we're just twisting it to rewrite the narrative.
It is, and it's very interesting. At first, I was like, who cares what shade of black or brown she is? So, but I looked it up, and blackwashing, like I thought blackwashing was just like the new woke phrase, but it's actually a thing, and there have been studies done on blackwashing versus whitewashing. And a study that I found said that blackwashing is very appropriate because it opens the way to have having positive images of black people. That was essentially what the study said. Now, this study was submitted by someone who was majoring in African American studies, and it was super woke. But I didn't even know that was a thing. And what's very curious about it is that whitewashing is considered completely racist, while blackwashing isn't. And it's the intellectual dishonesty that really bothers me, how whitewashing is considered to be something super negative and racist. But when you blackwash, you are correcting some kind of error. And it's like, no, you're literally doing the same thing.
That's
but that's how it is.
No, that's a great point. And specifically the lawyers who are requesting that Netflix is banned in Egypt say that particularly they feel that this casting of, the star of the show is actually a biracial woman, that by casting her, they are erasing the Egyptian identity, whereas Jada Pinkett Smith, the narrator and executive producer, Caroline, is simply saying that I just wanted to take part in something to celebrate black women for my daughter in a position where a black woman is a queen. But what about the Egyptians?
Well, she's wrong, right? Because Queen Cleopatra was an Egyptian woman. That's why the Egyptians are upset. That is the truth. And whatever political agenda Jada Pinkett Smith wants to pursue doesn't change those facts. And so the Egyptians seem to be in the right here. And again, talking about the rewriting of history, we see this in our country all of the time, stemming from the corporate media, from Hollywood, from our higher education university system, tearing down statues of Abraham Lincoln and George Washington, some of our nation's founders and greatest leaders, because their history doesn't help the left's agenda. So again, I wish American institutions would take action like the Egyptians are here. I applaud them for doing this.
All right, Caroline Levitt, Melanie Collette on The Other View. Thanks for joining us.